We're gonna make this Victorinox Swiss Champ into a TSA-approved EDC. Obviously, within TSA guidelines, one of the main reasons that you cannot have one of these is the knife, obviously. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the knife and anything else that goes against TSA policies. So this is gonna be a specific mod to have it TSA compliant. And then we're gonna test it out by flying to Los Angeles. So one of the first things that we need to do, obviously, is take off the scales. Now, in order to do that, I have my trusty descaler here. I got this Swiss Army knife from eBay, mainly because I was gonna tear it apart and use it for parts. One of the main things that we need to do is try to preserve these scales. I need to preserve this one, but not this one because it's cracked. So actually, let's take this one off first. So we can throw that one away. Looks like this one was in pretty good shape, so that's the least of our worries there. I want to keep this one intact because this is the one that has the slot for the pen. And normally you have to pay like 15 bucks for that one. So, boom. All right, this is the one we're keeping. So we will put it in our case of Swiss Army knife things. All right, now, man, this one is in pretty good shape. I'm gonna try to keep these. The trick with these is we need to preserve as much as we can of these rivets. So I use a Dremel to take these off. I kind of drill a hole in the middle, in the center of these, and I strip off enough to be able to, you know, take the rivets off. I'm gonna try to see if I can preserve these. It has failed in the past because, well, obviously I'm drilling and I mess everything up, but let's give it a go here. That one came out pretty smooth, actually. I might be able to reuse that. All right, well, that's one down. Let's get these all going here. Boom, there we go. Perfect. All right, looks like we're gonna keep these intact, which is awesome. All right, one more. Let's go. Oh, crap. All right, completely ruined this one. It's always the last one that gets me. All right, no matter. We got a couple of more that I can. There we go. Now for this one, what I tend to do is I kind of just grind it off. Grind it off to the bitter end, and that's all I do with that. There we go. We are ready to start taking this apart. All right, let me clean this up. All right, so now let's start taking it apart, making sure we keep everything in order. This is actually my second time taking apart a Swiss Army knife, trying to rebuild something completely different. One thing, and I'm sure a lot of us know, but every tool on the main side corresponds to a tool on the back side. So it's very important that whatever tool I'm using, I have to put this corresponding one behind it. For example, when it comes to, say, the scissors, with the scissors, behind it, it's normally always the multi-purpose hook. On this Swiss Champ, that's the way it is. On this climber, same thing. One thing that I do want to say is that if there's some pieces that they are interchangeable, however, they need to be the exact same size or thickness. If not, it's just gonna throw everything out of whack. I'm gonna use my handy dandy. Now, I already know pretty much what I'm gonna keep from this knife, and it's gonna pretty much all be stuff that's kind of TSA approved. It is going to be the bottle opener, can opener, the magnifying glass, a screwdriver, scissors, and I was actually thinking of putting in the pliers. So I'm gonna go ahead and test that out. All right, so that's our first part. Of course, we can't have the awl. So that's the only trick about this one. We can't have this for our TSA knife. So we are gonna have to replace it with something else. And at this very moment, I am actually thinking that I was gonna replace it with the flathead screwdriver. But all right, let me go ahead and take this apart. As long as I keep everything in order. All right, here we go. Let me get this done here. Now what I'm doing is I'm just laying them down in order so that way we know what's next. This is gonna be what I'm gonna replace the awl with. I hope this goes through TSA. I've read the TSA guidelines, and you can take a screwdriver, but I know you can't take anything sharp or pointy. So that's why I'm not gonna include the awl. I'm gonna include that guy right there. All right, so there we go. We are completely done. Now let's build ourselves a TSA approved Swiss Army knife. All right, so being the fact that we cannot use the corkscrew, we need to start with a plain flat one. And I'm gonna start with this one. So yes, TSA does allow corkscrews so long as there's no knife associated with it. For example, on most wine bottle openers, behind them, there's a tiny knife for the foil. This is totally unacceptable as per TSA. Now, obviously on Swiss Army knives, you're gonna have the corkscrew, and along with that is gonna be the knife. However, the one I'm currently making is gonna be without a knife. Can I get away with putting a corkscrew? Probably. We're in completely mercy of the TSA agent, and they can say, you know what, no, it's pointing or whatever. So I'm trying to go with the least amount of stuff right now, mainly because eventually I can always add. I just want to test this one out. If they have no issues with it, then I'll slowly start adding stuff. Now we start this whole little process. Now, I'm still not sure if I want to use a pliers, so I'm gonna make it without pliers, and mainly because I don't know if this is gonna get confiscated within the first go around. So that's one. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the older broken ones. Like these scissors have a broken little spring, which it's easily replaceable, but you know, I'm gonna test this out. So instead of the awl, we are going to use this. It seems like this will be easily replaced, so awesome. All right, so let's get rid of this little awl, and that's gonna pretty much be our knife. Let me show you here. Right there, so we have our flathead, we have the bottle opener and can opener. We have the scale. We have now I'm not gonna use this one because this is one of the newer ones. Like I said, I'm using stuff from an older knife because I don't know if they're gonna take this one away or not. So now I am going to use screwdriver, magnifying glass, and then the scissors with the hook. This should all technically fall within the TSA guidelines. Obviously anything else, I can't use a saw. I don't even know if I can use this. I mean, it's not sharp, but it is, I don't know. I don't want them to have any excuse to take this away. So let's start arming it together. All right, so first and foremost, let's do the scissors. Now, from what I have experienced is that putting this together is probably like the hardest part of this entire thing, mainly because these springs, they're not easy to work with. As a matter of fact, let me move this all up here. Go. All right, so we got that. Put a piece of tape so the rivets don't fall. There we go. And then I use... So this is actually the most difficult part of everything. The first layer, putting the first layer back together is so difficult because there's nothing holding the rods very well in place. So you kind of have to make sure that that spring puts everything under tension. And since it's the first layer, it's like the most difficult part. It gets a little bit easier as you pile on layers, but just dealing with those springs is absolutely so annoying and difficult. Once you get that done, then it's smooth sailing, but that first one is always gonna give you trouble. This is the hardest part about the whole thing. Because it just doesn't want to stay. Definitely isn't for someone that doesn't have the patience for springs. Who am I kidding? I don't have the patience for some springs either. There we go. Right. It's the first layer. First layer is always going to be the hardest, but we got it. We're there. Next layer is going to be magnifying glass and screwdriver. Guy's stubborn, isn't he? All right. All right, so there we go. So far, so good. Everything's snapping into place perfectly. Boom. Now let's put the final layer, which, like I said, I'm gonna use this instead of the awl, because I honestly don't know if the awl will give us any issues. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. So I'm not even gonna bother with it. That's the last layer. All right, let's finish putting this on and be done with this build. This might actually just be something that I carry on a regular, because I mean, I never need the knife. I always have another knife on me, so it's not like I need the Victorinox knife. But there we go. There is our finished build. Look at that, it worked out perfect. All right, well, let's see. So we have boom, boom. Okay. This is gonna be the only thing that just doesn't go flush, because the awl, where is my, yeah, the awl actually tapers down. This one does not. We got scissors, boom. All right, guys, well, there it is. I'm gonna finish this off and put the scales on. I'm gonna be giving this TSA approved one over to one of my followers. So be sure that you like this video, comment, and subscribe, and I will pick a lucky winner to send this off to. Screwdriver, magnifying glass, we got bottle opener, boom. We have can opener, and we have scissors. Now these scissors are broken, but I can always fix that. That's not a problem. I just don't want to put all the good stuff in there and then all of a sudden TSA's like, nope, and they confiscate it in Los Angeles. Obviously here, I'm gonna drop off my wife, and if they say no, you know, she'll just hand it back to me, and that'll be that. But if they're okay with it here, and then they come back, and then when she's coming back, it's a whole different issue. That's not gonna be none too fun. So, there we go. That's right, let's keep on hammering. Oh yeah, that's good, that's good. Boom, that's all we needed. Perfect. I should do that for the rest of them. Oh yeah. Boom. Oh, there we go, guys. Oh yeah. All right, let's go put some scales. All right, so now let's put on some scales. These will work here. Boom. Yeah, this one. Boom. There it is. So here's my only issue with TSA. If you read at the TSA website, this is what it says. The final decision rests on the TSA officer. Even though most of these tools are TSA compliant, I'm at the mercy of the TSA agent. All right, let's oil her up. Little bit of drops of oil. Looks like everything's clicking. Everything's clicking. Sweet.